Welcome, Star Wars fans. Here we talk about all things Star Wars with rumors, facts, news, and random shenanigans. Get ready and strap into your Millennium Falcon. This is the Force Choke Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 80 of the Force Choke Podcast. I am here with my fellow council members. I am Sarah. This is Lewis. And this is Micah. I don't know which orientation we're at, so finger guns.
Yeah.
Wait. Wait.
Where's Tim?
Tim is
Tim.
MIA right now.
I thought Tim is TIM.
TIM, yes. MIA.
Yeah. All the
three-letter words.
Yes.
Yeah, those are words. Names.
Acronyms.
Yes.
Well, Mia's a name.
He is a name.
Micah.
Do I have a name?
I'm gonna have to come up with an acronym for all of us.
It's 3 letters, so it's Mike.
What? Am I? Okay. I don't know how that works.
But don't pronounce it with the C.
Well, you want me to call you?
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
Sarah, what episode are we on?
So 80. 808
Incredible.
Yes.
What do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about episode 3 of The Mandalorian.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 3, yes. Chapter, okay. I don't remember. Chapter something.
11.
11.
Yeah.
Yes.
You might want to keep that in mind. It may be up on the trivia later, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Hang on.
So I wanted to start off, since you want to talk about season 2, episode 3, Sarah.
He's all on you already.
Right? I wanted to.
That was a bad idea.
You want to talk about that? Yeah. I just wanted to bring up, well, let me ask you guys, how did you guys like or dislike this episode?
I liked it. 2 thumbs up.
Oh, I loved it.
3
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it as well. Well, we'll get into a little bit more how much we liked it and why we liked it. But, I wanted to give y'all a heads up. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Bryce Dallas Howard is the one that directed this one, right?
Yes.
And right at the beginning of this episode, she actually gives homage to her father, Ron Howard, where the Razor Crest is entering the atmosphere of Trask. But I thought that was really, really neat. When I did see that portion of the episode, I was like, why does this look familiar? I just couldn't put 2 and 2 together. But when I started seeing, little clips and people kind of talking about it, I was like, no wonder it looks so familiar. This is right out of Apollo 13. You know what I mean? So, what did you guys think about that?
I haven't seen Apollo 13.
Okay, how about you, Michael?
Sorry.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
Yeah, it looked really familiar to me. And I think it's like as soon as I saw it, like on the Facebook the next morning or something like that, I did see that breakdown where it showed it for like shot for shot, back and forth. I'm like, God damn, that is like, clean cut, seeing the Saturn V rocket versus the Razor Crest is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is exactly the same thing. But it's nice. I mean, you had a couple of those hallmarks, I think, in the show. But I mean, that's partly what you do, and I'm completely fine with it. It worked,
Yeah, it really did,
it was really pretty.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
You know who didn't like it a lot? It was the Razor Crest, because it took a lot of damage from that entry into the planet Trask, and it looks like it's in really bad shape landing, quote unquote, when it gets to its destination.
Controlled
it landed.
Controlled falling, isn't that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then a little flip. little flip at the end for a little pizzazz.
Yes, exactly right. And so we get to the point to where the frog lady finally gets to her man. Oh, and they connect Mando to an informant. And they go on a little boat trip.
Mm-hmm.
So, it felt like the very beginning of this episode was like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
All these little things took place in order to push the story forward. Did y'all think all these little nuances happened too quickly, or was the pacing pretty good for you guys?
It was pretty good. I liked it.
I think internet. Okay, internet's coming back. It
Oh,
was all starting to get chewy there for a second. I was
Hang
like,
on.
hold on now.
Let me pause real quick and control my dog. Give me a second.
I like the pacing of it. It did seem kind of the short. It was one of the shorter episodes, and I should have probably memorized the damn running time for
oh
some reason
no.
later on this podcast. It was definitely one of the shorter times, like 37 minutes, I think, maybe, or something to that effect. But like there wasn't any kind of lull. There wasn't any. It didn't seem like there was any kind of superfluous, bits to the episode itself. So I'm comfortable with that, and I think I've kind of mentioned that before with the first episode of this season.
Yeah,
Um, it's like you want it to be longer, but also just don't make it cost that.
yeah,
Don't make the cost of it being longer adding a bunch of nonsense where it's kind of like, okay, you're taken away from the show, you're taken away from the
yeah,
necessities that
yeah,
you want to see to further the story along, and also for as a fan to enjoy it.
yeah.
So pacing I thought was pretty good. It was very point, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. You know, I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoyed the pacing. And one of the things that I talked about in from season one was that a lot of the episodes felt like they're straight off of a comic book panel. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, in
Yeah.
comic books, you get a lot of pictures, so you have to push the story forward much more quickly, and that's almost how this episode felt to me. Especially at where the point we're at is a lot of these little interactions happened, but it pushed the story
Mm-hmm.
quickly to where we needed to get. So I really enjoyed the pacing of that. But once they find the informant, and before we get to that though, baby Yoda gets gets a little bowl of soup, and something else is
Yeah.
trying to eat him.
Yeah.
So it's either he's trying to eat something, something's trying to eat him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny, kind of cute. But we get to the boat trip to find more Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim's not here to say it, but I'll say it. It's odd in the Star Wars universe to see a boat.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that whole idea of having a boat in the Star Wars universe?
I mean, it makes sense for them to have boats on planets with water. I mean, like it makes sense. It's odd. It's different. I mean, it's
Mhm.
what? Don't laugh at me. CGI puppets. No, it's something that we haven't seen a lot. I mean, what we saw Ray, not even, it wasn't even a boat, right? On, oh God. I'm not even going to try to remember. We don't see
Episode 9.
a lot of watercraft. Yeah. So it was nice to see because season one kind of started out, and this isn't my interpretation. I'm stealing from somebody. Sort of like as a Western theme, and we kind of got that in the first episode of season two, and like a little bit of, yeah, episode two of season two. But now it's kind of like, oh, we got pirates. So
You haven't seen any westerns by water? I'm playing.
I haven't, no.
You ever seen the movie Maverick?
It's just, oh my goodness. Okay. It's just, it was interesting to see. It was cool. That's all. That is all. I will not try to interpret anymore. or steal interpretations anymore.
No, just kidding. No, I mean you're right, and I think I even mentioned that when we were kind of like breaking down the trailer to season 2,
Mhm.
where it's usually you're practically just jumping from planet to planet. So what would be the necessity to be riding on a vessel just for interplanet movement? I mean, there are little things here and there between, if you're looking at Clone Wars, if you're looking at Rebels, if you're looking at the movies themselves. But it is, I think it's probably the first time at least we've seen it for live action, really.
Mhm.
Um, Short of going right back to the Phantom Menace and seeing them in an underwater city, but it's not like they were necessarily traversing the water itself. So
Yeah.
it was just it was definitely an interesting take, but we also find out that it had its purpose,
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a trap.
if for nothing else, yeah.
Right. So why don't you get into that a little bit, Micah? Because I think that's what I had next to talk about.
Okay. So Mando, accompanied with Baby Yoda, is believe they're going to find more of his kind, the Mandalorian,
On an
and
island or another ship, maybe, right? That's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
another ship. I don't know why I was thinking just kind of like some other kind of seaport,
Hmm.
like some other kind of seaport somewhere else. But then we find out, he gets distracted. But you ever seen a mama core eat? No. Well, it's really fascinating. Okay, I don't care. Come bring the baby. We don't want to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. He opens
You're like,
everything, and
just
then
right. We'll go. Just shut up about it already.
it's like, all right, I'll look at your stupid pet that is totally uninteresting. And sure enough, it was a ploy,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then and he kicks. What does he like? Use one of his like
Kind of like,
staffs and just like
yeah, staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and kind of hockey pucks it
Hmm.
into the water, and right before something comes to eat Baby Yoda, we see Yoda, obviously being force sensitive,
Hmm.
goes to press the button to
To close
close
it up.
up his little enclosure, his little egg, and it gets eaten up.
Hmm.
And then there goes Mando, and then we figured out it's because they're pirates and they want to steal his Beskar because it's obviously wealthy. It's obviously very um,
Expensive.
expensive, worth money. So
So Sarah,
what
let me
happens
ask.
next?
Right. Let me ask Sarah first. I
Okay.
know she loves Baby Yoda.
I
How
do.
did you feel when you saw that happen?
I think I took a really huge gasp in. I think I took a really huge gasp. I was like, son of a bitch. Um, but I mean, it's not gonna end like that. In the back of my head, I was like, somebody's gonna get him out, and it was like, they made you wait for a whole hot minute
Yeah,
to
really,
see
right?
what was gonna happen, and then I know y'all geeked out
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
next coming
What are you talking
scenes.
about?
Yeah.
Well,
Before you get to that though,
yeah, sorry.
do you guys think that the Beskar armor is becoming a liability now? Seems like everybody's after it.
Yeah.
Um, I
It's
mean,
just a thought I had.
maybe,
Yes.
but I I think in the eyes of Mando, not necessarily. Because I think it's the same thing. Like, give up your weapons. Weapons are my religion. I'm not going to give them up. Like, this is his sole identity, and I'm sure he
Yeah,
would believe that people would be, seeking him out even if he didn't have the best car.
yeah,
So at that point, it becomes more in the pros and the cons column
yeah. Maybe we'll
because
have to do that one of these episodes, pros and cons for the Beskar.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be interesting, right?
maybe.
Yeah.
But back to why Micah and I geeked out, Sarah.
Yes. Yes.
What do we see next?
You will see um Bo-Katan and
Who?
others and company. I'm a bad fan. I don't know their. I mean, I know y'all were really into Rebels, and y'all know, and Clone Wars. so y'all know like these characters, but it was actually it was a nice introduction for me, not seeing those characters yet, not sticking it out with the animated series. It was a good introduction into these characters and to find out like what like a little bit of her background and what's going on with that. That was really cool. That was a great introduction. But yeah,
Yeah,
y'all saw.
you really didn't need to know her background in order
Yeah,
to appreciate that character, I think.
right, right. But tell me what y'all thought. We all like, oh my god.
I
I
kind
could
of
see
hope
Micah doing that.
as a kind of an offshoot. I hope and I feel like they're doing enough backstory. Well, I mean, there's obviously enough backstory that for fans to know, and you start to see it highlighted in this episode that maybe that has its own runoff one miniseries limited run kind of thing to really show like maybe the rise of them trying to reclaim their throne, as she puts it later in the
Mm-hmm.
episode. So I don't have to get specific with that. But me, it's like this is like the second time now the Mandalorian has really served for that Leo meme. Hey, right there.
But
Because
there,
as soon as I saw him drop with the color scheme, and then obviously with the owl on her helmet, I was like,
Mhm.
"Fuck
Here
yeah,
we
let's
go.
go!"
Heck yeah.
So yeah, we see. I guess you essentially call them the night owls. Drop in, right? Get the baby. I got you, brother. and
Yeah.
then and then Sasha Banks' character. God damn, I had her name down. I forgot already. I know the other cat's name is Axe Woves, but
Mhm.
what's her name?
I totally
Oh,
forgot.
Casca Reeves.
There you go.
And so they destroy the Quarren on the ship, um, and save him. And
Mm-hmm.
you're just sitting there, and then what happens next? They go to take off their helmet. Aha!
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
didn't even have
Boy,
to see his face for that reaction, right?
No.
it's
It
like
was kind. Yeah.
motherfucker.
It was
All
just
these
like.
people.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they take their helmets off, right? Kind of to
Mm-hmm.
introduce themselves.
And he's like,
And it
damn it.
comes to a shot. Yeah, exactly, right? Now, I want to stop here for a second, guys. Do you think that this is why Pedro may have gotten a little bent out of shape because of none of the FaceTime? All these Mandalorians are taking their helmet off. People are wearing the Mandalorian helmet, taking it off, and I'm stuck with it on.
Well, I
Just
mean
an off. You know what I mean?
that's what he gets for being
Mm-hmm.
casted as a character that's part of a religious cult.
Oh, Sarah. Sarah has a
No.
What?
reaction.
You
No,
don't
I
like those words?
actually.
Religious
No,
cult?
no, no, no. No, no,
Sell
no.
it.
No, 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 no. I actually talked about this during the episode, and I was like, I wonder if they're gonna find a way to like to have him not like convert Jesus or anything, but like kind of loosen up his grasp on that aspect of his culture
Mhm.
to to allow him more FaceTime. I had that theory, or oh shit, I forgot what else I was thinking. Um, but yeah, I had that kind of idea just because he did make such a big stink about it that maybe he'll loosen up because he found, other Mandalorians, like actual Mandalorians, not a guy wearing, armor. Well, it's just a random guy wearing armor, but like actual people from Mandalore,
Mhm.
and they take off their helmets. So like, maybe he'll justify that, and they'll be able to show his face more, and he can stop. But I don't know.
This makes it all very
Thoughts?
interesting, right? Because we find out he's part of a religious sect or group or cult or whatever you want to call them, called the Children of the Watch, who he was like, the what? He had no idea,
Yeah,
right? He
yeah,
just thought he was a Mandalorian.
yeah.
So this might be really interesting to where, from what I understood, the Mandalores came from the planet Mandalore, right?
Mhm.
The Mandalorians. And so many of them were parts of clans, which in a way, those are our people, you know what I mean, from a certain clan from Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
And so from what we see on the Mandalorian and here is like it's not, you know, a species, it's a culture, which
Yeah.
is from the Mandalorians that I've seen in the past and Rebels and Clone
Right.
Wars and things of that nature. It's going to make for a very interesting. You might have a really good theory there, Sarah, where they want to convert him over and maybe fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we're going to have another battle. I really hope we get to see this in the Mandalorian, where we see the Mandalorians try to retake Mandalore from the Empire. You know what I mean? So, um, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Micah?
So yeah, good stuff. As far as the theory with
It's
Sarah,
like,
it's
yeah, but no, not happening.
I just feel like we spent, for the most part, all the screen time that we've seen with the Mandalorian with Din Djarin. That has been his identity. That's what he knows. He was saved essentially by the Death Watch when he was young, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're calling Children of the Watch instead of Children of the Death
Mm,
Watch.
Yeah.
um, and instilling those, foundational beliefs. It's kind of like if, and I hate to say it like this, I'm not trying to make this religious or even politically religious kind of thing, but if you were to take a Christian today
how dare you? I'm just kidding.
and compare them to a Christian back in, say, 1600s, early settlers of America, they're going to be wildly different in how they carry out those beliefs in their everyday, practices
Hmm.
to execute their beliefs.
Yes.
So I think that's an interesting point that they're doing in the show, is that they're very much following like the letter of their law, the letter of their faith, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting to see, because you're already starting to begin to see this other dichotomy, which just makes it the dichotomy of the Mandalorian faith, creed, way, culture, if you will. Because yeah, like the show explains it, that it's a creed, it's a way, it's a belief. And we know, seeing Clone Wars, we know, seeing Rebels, that, well, we've seen Mandalorians and they're very much Mandalorians, but they don't always wear their helmets in the presence of people. So I was curious to see how the show was going to introduce that.
Yeah.
So they did a great, a great service in that, and just showing how you know how it's not just simply one dimensional. Oh, you're wearing Mandalorian armor, you're a Mandalorian. Oh, you're from Mandalore, you're a Mandalorian. Oh, you don't take your helmet off, you're a Mandalorian. No, no, no. Like, you're starting to see these ideas start to intersect and be like, okay, so we want to like Bo-Katan, like, because she's from Mandalore, but it's like, yeah, but this Din Djarin character has more of a service to these ideals, because he won't even take off his friggin' mask in front of a living, being. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting to see how they're going with that. So having said that, not trying to tear away at your your idea, Sarah.
Sure.
It's just, I think
Okay.
that we've spent all the entirety of what we've seen in Mandalorian, um, is him really just that foundational, like him trying to
Mm-mm.
um,
Oh.
uh,
He's trying to
fulfill his
maintain his,
identity.
yeah,
To fulfill, I was going to say
right.
fullify. I'm like, I was trying to do
Fullify.
verify and fullify. I'm like, that what? Trying to fulfill
Or
what he believes him to be, and his identity, is that of a Mandalorian by this creed. So it would be interesting to see him as a convert, but I don't see that really being a part of Bo Katan's story to retake the throne.
Hmm.
I mean, there will be some play with it, but it's not like after they're said and done, if she's successful, right?
Yeah.
That he's going to be sitting there with them. I don't think that's going to be the
mm,
case.
no, but
So
it might be kind of like an awakening for him, kind of like he's so he lost his clan, I guess you could call it, or whatever. So he's by himself. He lost all of his support. So maybe that gives him the opportunity to branch out.
So I'm gonna say
No?
this. I'm gonna say
Okay.
this.
All right.
Sarah, I like your theory.
It's not
I'm and
happening,
I'm
bro.
and I'm
Yeah.
buying into it actually.
Oh.
I'm buying into it for a couple of reasons. I like it. I like how it would flow with the story. And two, it would give an out to have more face time for Pedro Pascal on the show. But initially, Mando rejects them, right?
Yeah.
Going back into the show, Mando rejects them totally and is like, uses his rockets.
Like, I'm taking my baby.
Yeah.
Like, see you later.
We thank you
This
for the
wasn't
help.
part of the deal. Yeah.
A good day, sir.
I said good day.
And so he takes off and takes off back to the port. We see that the other Mandalorians blow up the ship that they were on, and Mando is like, okay, well, that's done, and kind of, I guess, let me go find some more Mandalorians that I can find to help me out with this kid. And he runs into the brother of the guy that was on the ship. Waiting to kick that booty, right?
Yeah.
So, it seems like he's had many of these fallouts with all kinds of species on different planets, and he's like, you know what? The best if you just get out of my way and let me go. You know what I mean? And so it seems like he's really outnumbered in this case, but he doesn't seem to have any issues with it. And lo and behold, the Mandalorians come back and help rescue him, quote unquote, rescue him. He seems like he could have handled himself in that case anyways, but they're like, hey, why don't you let us at least buy you a drink? And I mean, how do you feel about that? The Mandalorians kind of like, it seems like they're chasing after him. Do you think that they are wanting to, like Sarah said, recruit him? Or do you think that they just want to see him have safe passage because he's wearing the Mandalorian armor, part of the Mandalorian creed? What do you guys think?
I don't think they're trying to chase after him. I think they're just trying to, see him on his way in a safe manner.
How about you, Micah?
Maybe it's a bit of both, because we see later on in the episode that Mandalorian strength is in their numbers, and it's no shocker that there's not exactly just a lot of Mandalorian, around. So I think it was just maybe it was happenstance that because they're there, obviously they already expressed why they're there to hijack the Gazanti freighter, to take back weapons and arm the rest of their population, to take back the seat at Mandalore. But also too, I think once they see him, it wasn't a matter of like tracking him down, but also like we can use this fool, like, and if we can turn him, if we can recruit him, then 100%, because you kind of start to see that later on in the episode where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get you to say yes to this, but wait, there's more,
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of maybe a bit of both.
Oh crap! I skipped ahead in my brain. Sorry.
A little bit, right? Because
Yeah.
they kind of ask for him for help in exchange for information about the
That's right.
Jedi, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, maybe
Alright.
you're right. You're right, Micah. They're just after him to get this freighter. You know what I mean? Hey, we have more power in numbers. This guy's wearing Beskar, so shoot, we could use that help.
Yeah.
And the mission is to break. Initially, the mission is to break into to get the munitions from the ship, get out, and use that armament for their fight on Mandalore coming up soon. And lo and behold, they break in, they get to the cargo, right? In a way, did this almost seem like scenes from the Solo movie, the heist part, to y'all in any way? To me, it did. I don't know if they were going for that for a little bit or not,
Like
but
it was another Ron Howard film.
Hey. Okay.
I didn't get that explicit feel, but I mean, I could definitely see where you could, have a
Connection.
dotted line to it. Yeah.
All right. And then so they finally get to their cargo, right? And that they were going for. And mid-mission, Bo-Katan changes the arrangement of the deal and says, "We're gonna take the ship." And my Amanda is like, that's not part of
Huh?
the deal.
Yeah.
I'm changing the deal.
Yes.
So we
Oh
do see
my.
a callback to Empire with that.
Yes, I love that interaction.
Yeah,
It it
it
it
seemed like there's quite a few of those little Easter eggs. It was like if, like your antennae are going up or whatever, you know.
absolutely this wasn't part of the deal. And at that point, Bo-Katan mockingly says, "This is
This
the
is the
way."
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she was kind of like poking his chest, like, "This is the way," or is um, she mocking him, or is she kind of like, "I know that's your creed, so you're gonna have to do it anyway," or how did y'all feel about that interaction there?
At the first point, when the first time you hear her say it,
Yeah.
I think she does it more so in a mocking way because again, with the comment that she made about him being a child of the watch, it it's like when things are on the line, it's like some of them are foregone conclusions, like conclusions where it's kind of like, and let's not worry about this, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of like, nah, bitch, this is the way. This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
your thing. You're gonna follow the letter of the law, you know. So I felt in that essence, you know, the first time we hear her say it on the ship, I think it was very much so done in a mockingly way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I felt too. This is just her. You know, what is the actress that plays Bo-Katan's character? Y'all remember her
Katie,
name?
Katie Sackhoff.
You know, I think she did a really fabulous job pulling off from what
Oh
we
yeah,
saw the animation to what we saw live action. Man, she did an outstanding job. You know, her demeanor, the way that she spoke, you know, I thought was pretty spot on.
yeah, because Sarah, she was the voice actor as well
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
for her in
I sh-
the Clone Wars episodes and Rebels episodes.
from the
yeah,
clips that y'all have shown me, she sounded like it.
yeah, yeah, and you know, going back to what Micah has said in the past, sometimes it can be hard to transition from being that voice actor or actress to
Right.
being live action. And man, great
She did
job.
a really good job, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, so then they continue their battle to try to get to the main part of the ship, you know, the bridge, to take over the ship. Um, and we also find out that Bo-Katan is also looking for the dark saber.
Mhm.
So how did y'all feel about all that action and you know how they got to the bridge of the ship? Um, did y'all like that? Did you feel the pacing was slow? Did it slow it down, or did you enjoy it?
I liked it.
I liked all the stormtroopers.
I liked it too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very I mean it felt like Star Wars, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it was great. I'm just one of those people where they're like, when he's already making his descent, I was counting it out. They're at
Yes.
10,000 feet, and then you can kind of 9,000 feet, and I did that all the way into the cockpit. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
they're at negative 2,000. They would have died. So I think of
You know,
myself, go back 12,000 feet. Aha! Wow, we have some time.
so
But
you know
outside
what?
of that little thing, it was awesome.
So I'm gonna help you out with that, Micah. I'm gonna help you out with that.
Okay.
Okay. Um,
Thanks.
Counting.
this is the way
One,
that you want
ha ha,
to think about
two.
it, right? Is that, like I said, I've read comic books, graphic novels my whole life, right? You might get to half of the comic book, and then on the next panel it says, "Meanwhile." So while you were reading all of that, this was happening at the same time, right? So time overlaps itself. And like I said, this really did feel like a comic book panels come to life this episode. So we might want to think of it that way. So when you're counting down, at some point you should have possibly stopped counting
Nope.
and then gone back. You know what I
One
mean?
continuous shot. Nope.
So that's the way that I look at it when those things happen. But
No, it was
you
close
can,
enough.
yeah,
I'm not completely saying this was a terrible episode because of that.
yeah,
It's just, I mean, even if you had a subtle stop in there, it
yeah,
was close enough. It was good. Okay,
yeah.
like,
It
but
was
I'm just like I said, I was just being that person.
right.
Well, because
Like
it's like the
what was
person
that other?
dies. The person dies on screen, and
Uh,
you're like looking right at the chest, stomach area. I'm like,
wait a minute.
bitch, I see you moving. I see you breathing.
What was it? It was
Liar.
one of the what was it? One of the Fast and Furious movies that people were like, "Wait a minute, that runway had to be like 12 miles long or something like that." Yeah, so it was
Someone
fun.
did the math. Like the runway would have had to been this long.
Yeah,
It was Fast and Furious 6.
something like that. I don't know, one of
Yeah,
them.
Fast and Furious 6.
But let's
And
get
like
back to
how long is this goddamn runway? I mean, shit. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
let's get back to the dark saber. Right,
Darksaber.
Katan captures the captain pretty much
Mhm.
of the freighter, and asks, does he have the dark saber? And he's like, if you're asking me, you already know who has it.
Mhm.
And it seems like she's going to take him as a prisoner. And
He had
does
other plans.
yeah, does he it looked like to me he chomped down really hard and it
Yeah.
activated some kind of mechanism.
Suicide capsule.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Yeah. So see, I didn't know if maybe he was being watched and he knew it was coming, or if he actually went ahead and bit down and suicided himself. You know what I mean?
No, I'm pretty sure that was a suicide thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's, I mean, well, when he's having that conversation, when he's like, "We need immediate backup," it's like if they already taken the whole ship, then
Yeah.
we know that's already no longer an option.
Yeah.
Long live the empire, and then he already knows,
Yes.
like,
Right.
all right, let me execute these fools that are flying this thing because I know I'm gonna have to bring this bird down myself.
Yeah.
So, I the action of seeing it, with everything going on, as far as we know, Moff Gideon isn't force sensitive. I think he wants to be, and
Mhm.
that goes on to my theory with the Baby Yoda and extracting maybe midichlorians from him. Who knows? Um,
I
but I
love
don't
that
think
theory
that he
from you.
is. Thank you. Feels a little weird you saying it, almost gross. Probably need to take a shower again. But
Ooh, everybody's throwing up. Lando came in to puke himself out as well.
Oh,
yeah, right there
lovely.
in the corner. Great, Lewis. Um, but no, I think we already seen his conviction, what he's prepared to do. You
Mhm.
know, long live the empire. So, and even at that point, he's probably at this point he knows it's like, look, if they take me as prisoner, who knows what they're able to do to me, and I'm not going to give up information.
Yeah,
So
might as
you
well.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
it seems so in line with everything that they do and the shady stuff that they do that he would have some type of suicide capsule that
Yeah,
electrocutes all this business.
Mhm.
absolutely. All right. So, um, after the mission is accomplished, they capture the freighter, get hold of it. They take the ship for themselves. Bo-Katan tells Mando where to find Ahsoka Tano. Oh gosh. So we're finally gonna see. I don't know if we're gonna see her the next episode. Do you guys are you feeling that?
I think it's gonna be an episode about the journey,
A
and
journey
then like
to
the next one.
Yeah, because we're going into episode 4, and it's episode 5 that was directed um, by Dave Filoni. This is his baby, like he created her.
yeah,
So it's because it's one side quest after another trying to get shit done,
yeah.
and he's just now taking off. So there's very much going to be something that happens on his way to that planet.
Because the ship,
So-
the Razor Crest, is still, held together with duct tape and paper clips right now. So
Yeah.
Well, that and boat net. It's like an actual ship.
Right.
yeah,
Because I just
I
came in,
know.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of dysfunctional ass shit is?
yeah.
I think he even says something to the effect that it was like, "Damn Mon Calamari" or something like
Yeah.
that. You know?
Yeah.
I know. That's one of the last things I put is, man, the Razor Crest is fixed, but how did that piece of junk?
Functional.
Yeah, how did that piece of junk?
Barely.
Yeah, make the jump to hyperspace. You know what I mean? So,
It's like the equivalent of saying like a crack in a rock, and that single
yeah,
strand of duct tape. Yeah, this will be fine.
yeah, it's okay. So let me ask you guys: when we do finally see Ahsoka Tano, do you think she's going to take the child? Because we know that she's no longer considers herself part of the Jedi Order, and that's specifically who Mando's looking for,
Mhm.
a Jedi.
So you want to go? You want me to go?
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how that interaction's going to happen.
I don't either.
I'm super curious. I'm really not sure myself how they plan on doing that. I feel like we will still see the child in the show. Like that's not to say it's the breadwinner, but um, man, I'm really not sure because I've been thinking about that. Like, okay, it's like, all right, you get to Ahsoka, like, what
What
happens?
now? Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think she's only credited for like one episode,
Hmm.
and if we do see like a lightsaber battle, that means we either see Sabine this season, right? We
Hmm.
see Ezra, so that we don't have to see Ahsoka on screen, or she continues there. And the notion about her being credited just one episode is, it was a bit holding back.
Yeah.
Watch out, buddy. Because obviously we have to know at some point, you know, if she comes out episode 5, right? There's what 8 episodes? Is how much there were in season 1, right? So then if we look at it like that, it's like, okay, there's 3 episodes where we have to see this conflict reconnect or reconvene really with Moff Gideon coming back to attempt to take the child and seeing what happens with all of that. So I'm really curious. Maybe that episode 6, 7, and 8 type thing is this whole interaction or whatever is going to happen with Moff Gideon. I mean, who's to say that it even is completed at that point? I'm sure we'll see it'll be completed, but that's my way of saying I'm not really sure because it could go a bunch of different routes. I just don't feel like we will see Baby Yoda leave this show, but I also don't feel like we'll see Ahsoka Tano continue forth either.
No.
So I'm curious to see what choice they're gonna have moving forward.
Yeah. I would love to have Ahsoka uh, kind of guide Mando to the quote unquote new Jedi Order, where Luke Skywalker has started his new training with his new pupils.
Yeah.
Maybe we see a young Kylo Ren, something like that. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if we'll ever get something like that or if that's too ambitious. I think Sarah missed that episode that we did here on the Force Choke podcast where we talked about, or maybe you did make it, where Mark Hamill has signed on to do some more Star Wars stuff.
No, yeah, I was there.
Yeah. So
That'd
who
be-
knows? Who knows what it's going to be about? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we'll move forward and love this episode. I thought it was great pacing from beginning to end. It was a nice little roller coaster ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
So the only thing it didn't do was make me cry.
You didn't cry when Frog Lady had her babies?
No,
Little tadpole thing.
yeah.
Cute. No?
When Yoda was
Okay.
playing with it,
Yeah, he's like, no, but the baby. And
and then
Most-
Mando took him away from the little frog baby, and he
yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah. He's like, let go.
I don't know if y'all want to talk about it real quickly. I guess there's been a lot of internet bullshit about
What?
Baby Yoda
Oh.
eating
Oh.
all the fucking
Oh.
eggs.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
just like,
about the
how
genocide.
simpleton are you people?
I've
Like, for real.
seen reactions to people's reactions, but I haven't actually seen anybody be mad about it. I've seen like it was a little cringy, right? And I talked with Ashley from work about it, but like just 2 comments. But she was like, "Yeah, I couldn't watch that," and I was like, "It was a little like, huh," but I mean, it's cute. They're
Well, I
fake.
mean,
It's a fake character eating fake things. It's like, really?
yeah. But I mean, on top of that too, though, like, okay, maybe not watching it for whatever reason, I get it, but to make all the stuff about genocide, like I just like
Because they're the
okay,
last eggs
great,
of that species, or
kind of, yeah. Like I tried not to read too much into it because I was already getting a headache. I was like, you people will literally bitch about anything, won't you? Like that one
I've
thing I shared, Lois. I don't want to bring it up here because I'm gonna definitely get put on some list.
the
But it's just
shit
people.
list.
People are insane. Just like it's a TV show. It's a little kid basically, a little 50-year-old man, right? Who
Practically an infant
is
person.
hungry
Mhm.
and he
Yeah.
sees a buffet right in front of him.
It's
It's like a
I've
bag of gummy worms or like
Where
peach
do you
rings or
get your meat
something.
from when you make a steak?
That's fair.
Hypocrite. So,
so I have seen a little bit of what you're talking about, and I totally dismissed it. You know what I mean? Maybe I
Yeah.
should give it a little bit more attention. The little attention that I did give to it, in my mind, I was like, this is a fictitious story
yeah.
about fictitious creatures on a fictitious planet. So it's like I didn't understand the correlation from reality to fantasy, and I think that that's where my brain and other people's brains that come up with these things can't come to an eye to eye, you know,
Understanding.
judge, yeah, about this, because it's like um, when you deal in reality to fantasy, fantasy often um, takes pieces of reality and then just totally expounds on them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like, does genocide happen in the real world? Yes, it does. What form does it take? Many different forms over the history of the world. And we're talking about animals doing it to animals, humans doing it to humans, etc., etc. And fantasy and reality, people, they're two different things.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
What?
just I just remembered this meme where it says when vegans realize when the vegans realize their body's made of meat, it shows get this shit off of me.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I
Damn,
just
Mike.
see that. Like, I'm not trying to
Oh my
attack
god.
vegans right now, but it's just we're at this kind of thing. It's like we're hyper sensationalizing things that,
Yeah.
again, like what you said, Lewis, it's a fictional character on a fictional show in a fictional timeline, fictional everything. You're
Yeah.
picking and choosing.
I'll
Yeah,
say
it's
it
just
for,
it's
I'm
silly.
gonna
It's
say it.
just
Yeah, I'm gonna say it this way, and then I'll let you have your piece, Sarah.
okay.
Um, there's a difference between fantasy and there's a difference between reality. And when you can't tell the difference, it's not everybody else's problem, it's yours.
It's time to go.
All
That's fair.
right, sir.
No, I just think I don't know. People are so passionate and they're
Get this
bored
shit
at
off of
home.
me.
Stop. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't see taking it to that level, but whatever floats your boat, man, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, let's not forget
I mean,
we.
that's very well put. It's not reality, it's fantasy, and it's about space.
Mm-hmm.
Space a long time ago, a little kid is eating eggs. Eggs. Eggs.
We eat
Eating
lots of
eggs. Vegetarians eat eggs. I don't know. I'm not vegetarian.
Oh, be
But
careful, Sarah. They're gonna
I
come for
know.
you.
I know they're gonna come for me.
eggs.
But it's the majority of the world, or at least America, the majority of people's breakfasts. You know.
Let's bring that back down a little bit.
I know. America,
You
at
should just be
least.
happy. Just say
A
Texas.
lot
'Cause
of
we're
people
pretty
eat.
much our own country
Well,
anyway.
okay, no, but even other cultures, like there's eggs in a lot of other cultures' foods.
Fish eggs.
Fish, caviar, right?
Yeah.
Chicken eggs, quail eggs, whatever
Reptile eggs.
kind of size of eggs
People
tickles your
eat
fancy.
eggs. Yeah, all kinds of eggs. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Man, I
so
really
just
flipped this
because,
thing up on its side by bringing this up, didn't I?
yeah, a little bit.
So we're
I
gonna
mean, just
we're gonna simmer down,
okay.
and what we're gonna
Sorry.
do is gonna have a little bit of a
Of a
quiz
quiz.
No,
for
no.
Mandalorian season 2 episode
I concede.
3. Y'all ready?
Nope.
All right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go second?
I'll go first. Let's just get it
Sarah,
over with. I'll go first.
I'm a gentleman. Wink. Sarah,
Yeah,
Excellent.
you
okay.
go first.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah,
So I
gonna
can
be
steal your
first.
answers.
Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
what is the title of season 2, episode 3?
I don't remember. The something. Yeah, I don't know.
My God.
I feel like I'm not going to pronounce the word right.
Get it wrong.
The heiress, the Hyris.
Oh,
Harris. Yes, you're right, Micah. Very
I
good.
look at. I know. I just like. Oh, I can't pronounce that word. I don't know why.
It's
I
it's a
don't
weird
know.
spelling.
the
I don't
Harris.
know royalty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's Harris.
Because
Is what it is.
the HE is pronounced like an A, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
The
All right,
hairstylist. I don't.
Micah, what species was the mechanic that was working on the Razor Crest?
Mon calamari.
Excellent. All right, Sarah.
Side note, real quick.
Oh God.
Yes.
The actress who plays Iden Versio
Mm-hmm.
in the game, Janina. Damn it, I don't remember the exact name. The one who plays also Shiva on the League.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was actually the Mon Calamari that at the docks wearing the JCP Penny, the JC Penny sweater that fixed the
Really?
ship. That was she had a
Oh
cameo.
wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
Oh,
cool.
Yeah,
that's. I wish I would have.
I was
I
gonna
wish
say it
I.
earlier, but kind of kept going. So my bad. You wish you
Awesome.
would have had that as a question. I would have gotten it, bitch.
You would have gotten it right. All right. So, Sarah, you ready?
Okay.
How many credits did Mando give the Mon Calamari to fix the ship?
1,000.
Oh, you got it right.
Hey, that's
God.
one.
All right, Micah. What creature swallowed the child?
Mama Core.
Yes, a mamacor. Sarah.
That's 3.
Yes, the sailing slash fishing ship is
Okay.
full of what squid-like species
Oh,
whose home planet is on Mon Cala?
I don't know. Calamari people.
No.
I don't know.
Micah said it earlier in the show.
What? Oh, what?
They look like the Tachula? No, I'm playing.
Yes.
Quarren?
Yes, Micah
Who?
got it
What?
right.
Quarren, Quarren.
Oh my God, I would not have. What? I would not have known that.
All right,
Okay.
Micah, back to you. Who
That's
are
4.
who are the children of the Watch?
Religious group broken off from the Death Watch. Or not broken off from the Death Watch, but the Death Watch created to fulfill the destiny of Ra's al Ghul. No, to follow, I guess, the original doctrine concerning the creed of the Mandalore.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
the Imperial officer thinks he has the Mandalorians trapped Where?
In the cargo bay. Cargo room.
Is that
Cargo
your
control
final
room.
answer?
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
That's
Very
the C word
good.
Lewis is looking for.
All
Control.
right, Micah.
Oh my god.
What were Moff Gideon's last words to the crew of the Imperial freighter ship?
He didn't really give order. He just told the captain,
No,
what
not
must be
not what order. What were Moff Gideon's last words?
Okay, words. I was like, hold on now. Long live
You're hearing words,
the
man.
Empire.
Get your ears checked out.
Yeah, say that
Says
one
a
more
person
time.
who has like
Right.
is like
I-
2.5 right now.
I know I'm deaf and awful.
I couldn't hear you over Sarah. Just to
Sorry.
make it legitimate. Say that for me one more time, Micah.
Long live the Empire.
Very good. I like the way you gave that little attitude in there too. That was good.
Well, that's how you sounded. This is what you're asking me. This is what I'm giving you. So
That's right. Okay, Sarah. I want you to give it as much energy as Micah did for this last question for the regular rounds. What is the last thing Bo-Katan tells Mando before he leaves?
This is the way.
Very nice. I like that. All right. So what's the score, Micah?
I think I got 3.
like 1,000,000,000 to 3.
Yeah, I think it's like
wow.
48 to 3.
5 to 3.
How many questions?
Okay.
How many questions do you have, Lewis?
For this quiz.
There's 9
not
questions.
cumulatively.
6 to 3 then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about fair. Okay.
48.
So
48.
So now he's changing it where this next question is not going to be
Yes.
worth 5 points.
5
or 7
million
points, giving
points.
Sarah the chance to win it all.
Bonus question. Bonus question. Okay. Whoever gets this right just wins automatically.
Do we just shout out the answer, or do we gotta go?
Yeah, go bing bing ring, whatever you want to do. Okay.
Okay.
Bo-Katan tells Mando to find Ahsoka
Oh
where?
God.
Oh gosh, what's up, Micah? Tell me.
Caladan, the forest planet of Corvus.
Very good. I would have taken either one of those, but you got them both. So you win next trivia too.
I don't have to show up and I still win. No,
wow.
Very nice.
And I wanted to bring that up, but I figured you're going to use it as a quiz question. I'm like, I'm not going to help anyone else.
Wow. Thanks, friend.
Interesting. So, forest planet of Corvus. Corvus being like an Easter egg to Iden Versio's ship, which was named Corvus with the Inferno Squad.
Yes.
So I thought that was a little interesting because you had like kind of like that Easter egg, and then you had the Easter egg of her cameo.
Yeah.
The one who played Iden Versio, Janika Savanka, I think. I don't know. So I'm like, do we get to see some of that? Because not technically speaking, but she's alive at this point. And as a matter of fact, she still looks that age during the course of all this because Jesus Christ, dog, you're going to drop my shit. Go away, silly boy. That Mandalorian is roughly six years or so after the Empire, and I think her missions are were already done because it was right when the Battle of Endor with the Death Star 2 blowing up and all that. So maybe we get to see her in the show. Like that's a surprise cameo. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, I would really enjoy that. She played a really interesting character in the game.
Yeah,
and that's canon. So that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was really thinking we were going to see something of her, or at least her, in this case, her daughter, in the movies, because like the end point of the expansion to that game was her right outside of one of the planet Ilenium system, I guess. And like right before we see the beginning of The Last Jedi, where we see them come in and just like try to destroy the fleet as it's taking off, we see her daughter come in at that point, and she's actually talking to Leia. So I was just curious. I was like, at some point, there's got to be that crossover, I think. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll see it in the show, hopefully.
Well, we know that this show is going to have at least a 5-season run, from what Giancarlo was talking about in one of his interviews. So a lot can happen from season 2, episode 3, from what we've seen, all the way to season 5, episode whatever they do, however many episodes they do in that one. I mean, there's a lot of time to bring that character in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do crossovers and stuff like that, which would, it's great because, if it's like, if you're in Star Wars and even I wouldn't even say a major character, it's like you can come back at any time and reprise your role somehow. So I think that's really neat that people would even, I thought that's crazy. Even come back as a Mon Calamari, not even show her face, and she'd be on the show anyways. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, they have a couple little cameos here and there too, because it's kind of like this. I think we talked about it before. This generational, pop culture type thing. It's like people want to be part of this experience, even if it's just a cameo. Like all the cameos they had in episode 7. Like I think we're going to start seeing things just like that. Like, oh, by the way, you saw this person, huh? Oh yeah, they were this creature.
Yeah.
And they got to fulfill that within themselves as Star Wars fans, but also being actors, even if it's just to don this makeup for some point.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with sort of what we're talking about. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, I thought it was Thursday, and I thought we were going to have Thursday night football. And I was like, what the heck's happening here? How come I don't see the game on, And so I was like, oh, shoot, it's Wednesday. And so I ended up putting on Return of the Jedi, right, on Disney Plus. And I don't know if y'all I just had a hankering or inkling to watch it. But real quick, I found it really interesting. I was watching where Luke Skywalker comes into Jabba's palace and he's talking to Bib Fortuna. And he's like, you can't be here. You're not supposed to be here. Luke's like, you're going to be fabulously rewarded and all this stuff. And on their way, there's a shot. I don't know if it was Sebulba or not, but it was a Doug creature walking down the steps across the hall. And I was like, when did they put that shit in there?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I guess y'all haven't had a chance to watch Star Wars Lego Holiday Special yet.
I was actually going to watch that. I was going to do that yesterday, but I decided to put on Return of the Jedi, so I'm going to watch it today.
I watched it last night just for argument's sake, and also to at least have some better version of the holiday special.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. Like, I'll let you watch it, Lewis, since you're going to watch it today, especially. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but they have a couple little Easter eggs, even in that, and a couple of jabs. I feel like there's a couple of jabs at even what Disney's done with reintroducing Star Wars onto Disney Plus and a couple of changes that they made. I was just like, they really just do that?
Oh, wow.
So I'll let you, hopefully, maybe Sarah, if you can watch it next time, we can tell Tim for the next episode we can break down.
I'll check it out.
Episode 4 of Mandalorian and talking about that.
It's only like 45 minutes, I think I saw too.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, it's like 47. I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I guess we'll be done with this quicker. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That actually sounds really good. Oh, we're still recording. I was going to get into when we start when we're working in.
Yeah, don't make me edit
again.
But yeah, absolutely. That'll be fun to watch, and then we can talk about that a little bit. Hopefully one of the big portions about time travel in there. You know what I mean? Is Star Wars getting us ready for time travel in the Star Wars universe? Have you even seen the trailer, Sarah?
For the holiday special?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You should watch it. First thing I thought, wow, Star Wars is getting us ready for time travel in the Star Wars universe.
That's cool. I'm down.
Well, especially since they
Well, I
made
mean,
it,
they
it's
already.
Disney, but making it mainstream with Marvel, and they
Yeah.
did a little bit with that's Steel Series.
Eh.
But you said they already did it in Rebels.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but it's like how many people actually watched it? You know what I mean? Probably more hardcore fans.
Yeah.
And I think more people will sit down and watch this with their kids
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh shit, there's time travel in Star Wars." And I think people will be more comfortable, like Micah said, it being mainstream knowledge.
That's what I'm going to be laughing at. You can't time travel in Star Wars. Hold on, that's your call. That's your
What?
concern. You
And
got the Force. You have
Yeah.
electricity coming from people's fingertips.
Right?
And you can't time travel.
Space. Exactly right. How is there not time travel in the Star Wars universe is what they should be saying.
yeah.
And with that, we'll probably end episode 80 of the Force
Okay.
Choke podcast.
Yes.
We want to thank everybody for listening, watching, subscribing, following us, commenting. We're getting close to episode 100. We'll probably do a giveaway or something special for that episode. We'll have to figure out when that happens. But once again, we are the council. We got Sarah, got Micah. We're missing Tim. I think he's on vacation. And myself, Lewis. Once again, we do appreciate you guys' attention and comments and all the well wishes. And we'll see you next time on episode 81 of the Force Choke podcast. See ya.